Hey, and welcome back to Appalachian Food Forest. Today I decided to make a video. I want to show you, for anybody out there wanting to begin start a garden, there's some questions out there on how to begin, and the frustration that happens when you try something the best you can, and then in the long run you end up it just doesn't turn out the way you want it to. I think every gardener goes through trial and error. Everyone starts in the beginning thinking they're doing the right thing, and then later on they make mistakes and you learn from those mistakes. So today I'm just going to try to keep you from making those mistakes, and if you're on ground that's never been gardened on, hard clay, here in East Tennessee we have clay. It's hard, the water sits, it can drown and root rot your plants and trees. So today I'm going to show you what I've been doing in our food forest here, and hopefully you'll find some success with this, because I have. So what we're going to do, first step is, if you're on wood chips, grass, sod, you want to get that layer off. So go ahead and begin removing the layer. And so I'm going to plant a fruit tree, so I like to make my holes bigger, a lot bigger. And these wood chips have been sitting for about 2 years. They're breaking down. Eventually over time it's going to turn into soil. That's what I like about wood chips. You never mix in your wood chips into the soil. It'll tie up nitrogen. Always remove your wood chips first. Never mix in wood chips with your soil. Your plants will not make it. All right, now you're still going to have some wood chips underneath it all. These are pretty much have used up all their nitrogen, or used up all the nitrogen. They're broken down. They're not going to be using any more nitrogen, so for the most part they're safe. Next, what you're going to want to do is get you one of these. It's a spade, fork, and what I like to do is just aerate the soil. We're not turning it over, we're not tilling. We're getting oxygen into the hard clay. We're breaking it up. We're making it easier for the activity down there, your worms. We're making it easier for them to move around, break things down even further. So what I like to do is just go in here, break up that clay. Let's get the air in there. If you don't, water's just going to sit. All right, so we've aerated our soil. The next step, what I like to do, come over here to my compost pile. Now, I know most people beginning are not going to have this compost sitting around, but over time, you think about that stuff. And from season to season, you build it up so that you have this, and you can stop buying the expensive compost and soils at your big box stores. But for the meantime, you're going to have to find compost. So find your local compost. Find whatever you can organic matter to put in this hole so that it can start breaking down into what plants love. So that's what I do. 5-gallon bucket of compost. The next thing I like to do is, what you're going to want to do is buy some soil. Buy some good, just good organic soil to put in your hole. What I do is I collect wood chips. I get a local wood chip company. They bring them to my field here and they dump it. So I let them break down over time. 2-3 years of sitting there, they break down into black soil. The plants thrive in it. All right, I've got my nifty little sifter here. Basically, I put in the wood chips. It separates the big chunks into the finer soil like. So you can see here, these are the broken up wood chips. They're still decomposing. And the sifter sifts out the finer material that is the best soil you can grow in. So I'm gonna operate it for a little bit. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna operate it for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and show you what I do to the hole. Okay, I love to give credit where credit's due. So I took this idea. I was looking on YouTube for something out there that would work. It would be not labor intensive. Man, this is the best thing I've found out there. I have to give credit to Dan at Plant Abundance. He has a lot of great ideas too, and they came through with this one. So it's been such an advancement to have something like this, to when you have ground that's just not workable and you can't plant in it, and you have to plant above ground. This thing right here is a gardener's best friend. So Dan at Plant Abundance. All right, so we got our soil. Take your garden fork and just lightly mix this up. So basically what you're doing is you're mixing in the compost that you put in. You're mixing in the native soil. It'll help break up that clay. And this compost I have that I put in, it's got earthworms all in it. So you're adding earthworms, you're adding microbial life into this. I'm adding in, you have mycorrhizae within these wood chips of soil. So you have mycorrhizae that's going to connect everything together so that your trees and plants can get the food and nutrients that they need. All right, so got that done. Basically now, all you do is dig you a little hole, or depending on the size of the tree, dig your little hole out. But we're making sure that we're not going below the surface that's around us. We're staying on top of the ground. We're building on top of it. so that when it rains or you water, there's a hole and broken up ground below for all the water to drain to. All right, so I decided to go get something that needed to be planted in the hole so I can show you how I plant. I've got a blueberry here that we've kept in pots for a couple of years, and it's time to move them. We're running out of space, so I'll plant it in the ground. So basically, I'm keeping the root ball and the dirt, surrounding dirt with it. That way, it really honestly doesn't even know that it got moved. That way it'll still fruit this year. So what we're gonna do is, I got my hole ready. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. I'm probably gonna need some more soil, so I'll have to make some more soil in my sifter and top it off. So for now, this is deep enough, and then we'll build up the mound to it. So I'm gonna take it, tilt it on the side, put it in my hole, rough it up a little bit, fluff it up, I should say. So we'll keep it about right there. Just scoop that soil back in. Don't want any of the big clay balls in there. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna need some more dirt. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna put some more dirt in here. All right, so got another load of wood chip dirt. I'm gonna put a little bit right there. A little bit right there. All right, I'll scoot around. I'm gonna pat it down, get the air pockets out. Some people don't like to do this. I like to do it. I like to make a berm. I like to make it even across and then build up a berm around it. Just so that it retains some water when it rains. Now blueberries, it is said that they like acidic soil, and it may be true, but I've never had a problem using the wood chip dirt. So for whatever reason, now I've tested this stuff and it is neutral. It's just right around 7. So there's no acidic, it's just neutral. But the blueberries, they thrive. So I've never experienced any problems doing this. So so you can use the acidic soil acidifier if you want. It's just more money. So I like to do stuff for free or cheap. So I don't use it. Wood chips are just good enough for me. All right, so we've got our dirt mounded up, and now I want to add a mulch. So what I do is I take the sifted wood chips, the bigger chunks, and I use it as a mulch. We're not mixing this in, we're putting it on top so that the moisture stays where the plant is and doesn't evaporate. So you can use wood chips, you can use straw. A lot of people like to put pine straw around it because it is the acidity is there and it breaks down and acidifies the soil. You can do that. I have success with just using the wood chips that I have. So let me go get the wood chips. And we're just going to cover them up. Make it about 2, 3, 4 inches thick. Okay, there's one more step. Final step when you add the wood chips and you're done mounting it up. Make sure that you back off the wood chips around the plant. Just 2 to 3 inches. They don't like it. It suffocates them. So just get it off the plant. Back it off a little bit. Now, after you've done this, what you want to do is water it in. So water in, give it a good gallon or 2, and then you're done. And that's it. So anyway, this is how you do it. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Add any comments down below. Any suggestions, I'm up for it. So until next time, this is Appalachian Food Forest, and we'll see you later.